me, indeed, and greetings upon you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me, sharing another moment with me, for showing up, even though I didn't expect you to. That's really cool of you. So thank you for that. Is it Shannon? I haven't seen the messages yet, but my intuition is telling me it's Shannon. It is. It's Shannon. Thank you, friends, for joining me. It's so nice to have you here another day. How's the lighting looking? Can it be seen? Like, I have to be under the roof because the weather seems to be starting up, rolling in. There we go. The weather seems to be rolling in right now, like big winds. I had an amazing yoga session, had a nice personal practice. Woke up today with a willingness to acknowledge who I am, which is quite weird. Like, I woke up and I was like, "This is me. I am," and it was like almost like a boost to the whole day, and it's been amazing. Fuck, Mel, you're looking fresh. Ah, ooh. Soon I'll get 50,000 modeling deals. Everybody will have to hide their daughters and wives. So be it. Thank you. Thank you for the love, Fred. I appreciate it so much. Looking fresh today, Mel. Thank you so much, Shannon. So much love to you. The fact that you're also mentioning the word fresh, I reached out to Christian, told him that I was thinking about him, and he was like, "Hope you're staying fresh, homie." And this was after I already shaved, and I sent him like a selfie. I'm like, "Fresh to death." Something. I'll melt through walls soon enough. Getting so hot. I'll just straight up melt through walls. Just like trying to, nudge him a little bit as well. He's been such an amazing, inspiration with this whole fitness journey that we've been on. This journey of taking care of ourselves, and it's this crazy, like, I don't even know how to say it like properly, synchronicity, process of recognition, practicing of awareness. I feel maybe all of the above. Ever since I started doing yoga, I had an easier time taking care of myself than I did in any other type of exercise, because the previous exercises I would do was all brute force. I was like lifting weights, so like pushing my body to lift weight, or pulling up and then straining all the way up, and I would enjoy it, and I would feel like there is some benefits to be had from it. But then I feel I would collapse into like bad eating habits, because I exercised, so I can eat whatever I want to now. And then it was this continual loop of, sure, I'm exercising, sure, I'm trying to take care of myself physically, but because I'm hurting myself, because I'm straining in these physical activities, I feel like I should compensate, reward myself on the other side of bad stuff. And then the yoga, it's I feel the yoga benefits from you being lighter. One, like some of the positions and asanas, poses that you have to get into, it helps if you're not carrying around extra weight, to say the least. And I feel better for it. My mind feels better for it. I love it. I genuinely do love it. Today's whole stream, though, just to backtrack a little bit, is about expectations. Expectations is something that we all have. And I'm not trying to say you shouldn't have any expectations, but I do want to address, or touch on managing our expectations. How to manage our expectations. I'm not saying I know. I'm just saying that's what I want to talk about. Like, I had this exchange with Ryan, and it was so beautiful, and I had this opportunity to really feel into the stuff that he was sharing as well, with his son being in that state. I'm not going to share any more than that. And then seeing that inside of myself, seeing how in previous situations I had these moments of expectation, and how those expectations just led me back into feeling like now I'm at a loss. I was expecting something, I had my hand out, and then the thing didn't land in my hand, and now I'm like, oh, all of this energy wasted with holding my arm out, expecting this thing. So being in this moment, sitting with yourself, just trying to be calm, breathing, not expecting anything, I find is the easiest way to not get hurt. Wow. Revolutionary, Melt. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not saying I'm bringing, giga, galaxy brain wisdom, but I feel it is important for us to just look at these things sometimes. Here is our thing we're saying. I am the one that has chosen to assume the responsibility for the pebble that I call Earth. So, okay, so the idea surrounding the whole pebble thing is to imagine every single thought you have, every single action you take, every single feeling you kind of like put forward into the world as pebbles that you're dropping into the infinite ocean, right? And you're creating these ripple effects, you're creating these waves of experience for others and for yourself in dropping these pebbles. And on the most fundamental level, we have chosen Earth as our pebble, the pebble that we find ourselves on right now, floating through space. And it goes again, I am the one who has chosen to assume the responsibility for the pebble called Earth. I know that's a big expectation, right? And again, these things are meant to make you feel something. And within like the whole teacher, guru, yogi, all of these woo-woo words that we've attached to it, one of the things that they like to do is to create a narrative or to bring to you a perspective that is so out there that you might be completely in here and then realizing or hearing something that is so out there, you find yourself somewhere in the middle. You consolidate, you feel for yourself where it is you are. And to say something like, I am the one that has chosen to assume the responsibility for the pebble called Earth, that's a big expectation. And we can't fully, take that responsibility onto ourselves, but we can think what that might feel like, and to think of it in this perspective of every single thing we do, every single action we make, every single loving word we share with someone else creates ripples, creates these pebbles that we're dropping into the infinite minds that is yours. You, as an infinite creator, as a person that has this ability to experience love and dreams, and has this ability to like be with friends and laugh and have conversations that you've never had before and see in them parts of yourself. Being a human being is fantastic, and we usually have a very real sense of what is right, especially for our personal lives. And then we're in this relationship with other people, and because we understand what's right for us, we would like for others to do what's right for them as well. But what's right for them isn't necessarily what's right for us. Like in this moment, this Stoic philosophy, I think it was Marcus Aurelius who said it, comes back to me of be hard on yourself and be soft with others. In the means of, like, when it comes to expectations especially, expect things of yourself first. and try and take care of those expectations. But expecting something from another person is always going to leave you at a loss. Trying to live in a place of non-expectation with people, at least in my life, has helped me feel a little bit more free. Ermias Plur has helped me feel a lot more free, actually, because now in a social exchange, all I want is for that person to be exactly as they are, right? Like, if I go into a social interaction expecting a certain outcome, expecting them to say a certain thing to me, expecting them to react in a certain way to the words I say, then suddenly I create this divide. I have my hand stretched out and I'm asking for something again. But if I go there and I just expect them to be themselves, as you will be, then suddenly there's nothing for me to feel lacking of. There's nothing for me that I feel, this could have been this way instead, because things were exactly as they were supposed to be. You are exactly as you're supposed to be, friend, and I appreciate and love you for who you are. Thank you for joining me. Looking fresh. It all starts with what you put in your body. Oh, Shannon, that it does. It's the most important thing, and yet it's the most difficult thing for me to like really get control over sometimes as well. Like diet has been an issue in my life for a long time. Like I developed in my opinion, a bad relationship with food when I was seven, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, because I had access to food, if you will. Right, my mom was a baker, she still is, so she would bake biscuits, and then there would be these whole like jars full of biscuits, and I would just be in this perpetual motion of getting myself biscuits and then sitting down and then eating them, and then getting myself biscuits and sitting down and eating them. And in those moments, I guess I could experience some sense of joy. But that joy is very fleeting, one, and not really good for you. So much sugar, so much vegetable oils that I have consumed. And that part, that ever like kind of evolved function to try and seek some sort of comfort, to try and seek some sort of joy from the foods I consumed, is still very much there with me. And now, especially in this time of my life, I'm trying to consume food with the intention of actually taking care of my body, where I'm noticing faster than ever, if I eat things that don't serve me, I feel bad. My body at this point has an expectation for what I'm supposed to be putting into it. And if I don't heed those expectations, it lets me know. And it's so crazy, like I think about it in the context of, is Earth, like Mother Earth, is she expecting something of us right now? Or isn't she? Maybe she isn't even. Like a part of me would like to hope, like to believe that she is so loving and so giving. Like life gives. Life just ceaselessly gives. Not expecting anything in return. But eventually getting what it's owed. How about that? How about that? Thank you, friends, for being in this moment with me. Happy Monday to you, Ryan. Thank you for joining us. Oh, we have Mr. Charles joining us. Do you have a job interview today? No, I've already landed the job, fortunately, exactly as I am, Mr. Charles. Thank you for asking, though, friend. Mick Fresh, thank you, Mr. Hammer, for joining us. Good old morning. Good morning, Melton fam, says Jacob. Thank you for joining us again, Jacob. We've missed you, my friend. You look like an entire differently person of a different age with your hair back. The whole stream comments are just going to be hair comments. You broke the stream. Much love. Eden, thank you. Yeah, you know, uh, is multifaceted. We have established this multiple times, and yet it is still magnificent whenever it manifests. Mm. Mm. I bet he uses hemp as well. You would be right, friend. Maybe he has a date later. First impressions hold a lot of weight. No, Charles, if only. Ayo. Oh, goodness. No way, right? Yeah, actually, the last time I was on a date was almost 4 years. 3 years and 5 months now? Goodness. So, okay, Charles, let me take you through the mindset, the frequencies, the fractals that I went through as soon as I heard you say date. I was like, date. That would be nice. Was the first thought. I was like, oh, yes, meeting a person, having a conversation, getting to know them. That sounds great. And then I was like, you don't know how to do that. That was the second thought. I was like, what do you mean? I don't know how to do that. I went on dates before, and then it was like, the last time you went on a date was like 4 years ago. And it's been like 3 years and 5 months or something. Like I got a Facebook notification today of like, oh, you have posted these pictures, around this time 3 years ago. And it was when I initially went to China, like the first photos that I shared with my family. And I was like, goodness, that's been 3 years? It's been 3 years? And the last time I went on a date was about 5 months before I ever went to China. Dates. Fortunately, Charles, I have no of those expectations in me anymore. At least for now. I don't think, at least the thing I'm supposed to be doing, this space that we're creating right now, has required me to expect different things of myself. And of those expectations, a relationship isn't one of them. So, I'm not saying I won't ever get into a relationship, but I probably won't go on any dates anytime soon. Like if I so I'm sorry for like really going into all these little tangents. A date, at least in my world, if I want a date, I have to go and talk to a person in a romantic way, and then get them to agree to going on a date with me. And all of the nonsense that comes before being able to get to that point where I ask someone on a date, I just don't have time for right now. You manage your expectations of others. Completely true. Revolutionary note. You're so right, friend. I try to keep my expectations flexible and open, flow with the go, and go with the flow. Oh, I like that. Thank you, Eden, for saying those beautiful words. Expectations are directly related to disappointment. You have to taper them. Completely right, Charles. Whew. I felt rather a lot lighter ever since expecting nothing. I don't expect things to happen in the way that I think they will, even though I still kind of lament. Like I lament laughingly, like the cosmic giggle when things don't work the way I expect they would, because I'm just like, yeah, there it is again. You expected something, and then guess what? Expectations didn't pan out the way you thought they were. So it keeps happening like that. We keep learning those lessons. Thank you for knowing that as well. Pebbles and ripples they are. Cringy, pretentious, hot air. Cosmo creamer. I like your username and your little profile picture. Love to you, friend. Come to Astidino. I don't know where that is. I'm guessing it's on, a subreddit, but I don't know if it's a country or something. When you understand you live on a rock hurling through space, it brings another perspective. Little problems seem insignificant. Yeah, that I to say the same thing you just said, I just kind of think of it of like when you recognize yourself as an infinite being, you realize that little problems seem insignificant. Like you are an infinite being having a finite human experience. And within this finite human experience, all of it is play. All of it is play, and life will play you to death. But all you can do is keep playing. That's the thing, Life doesn't expect you to continue playing, but you get to. You get to. Good day to you on B. Thank you for joining us. Melty face did it. All of the hairs melted off of my face, Jovan. Thank you for joining us. It's so nice to have you here. Yo, Joe, Shan Fran, rainy day, but brain is always cozy being with you here in this snuggle bottle. So much love to you. It's getting a little bit weathery here as well. It might actually rain on my side. Medication. Medications is a good book. Meditations, I'm guessing you meant. It's a good book by Marcus. It really is. Like you can, if you want to, really read a book of philosophy. And technically, it wasn't even meant to be a philosophy book, but Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And you can literally take that book and just open it anywhere and like hit your finger on a little, paragraph, and you'll like feel some stuff. Like it's pretty crazy how in tune he was as well 2,000 years ago. You could enjoy people more. I felt like you were speaking directly to me. Revolutionary note. It's because I am. Technically, if you want to get really technical about it, there is only one infinity here, right? There's my side of the infinity, and then there's your side of the infinity. And technically, it's a duality, but that infinite experience there is a oneness, and we're all sharing that oneness. But in a sharing an exchange conversation, it becomes the infinity again. So I am talking directly to you. Thank you, Fred. I'm happy that you're feeling so in tune with the message today. You are so kind, friend. Always better when you're here. Couldn't say the same. Couldn't say it better myself. The exact same for you. Thank you, Aunt B. I believe disappointment is inevitable, but we can lessen the suffering for ourselves. Yeah. And in my opinion, the best way to lessen the suffering for ourselves is just to reduce our expectations. Were they Popeyes biscuits? I've never had any Popeyes, but like there was so many memes going on about the whole Popeyes chicken sandwich that there was a part of me that was like, yes, even me needs to have one of those chicken sandwiches, but I have to go all the way to America to have one. Isn't that hectic? Without expectations, you won't be disappointed. It's true. I want to preface, right? It's okay to expect things of yourself. I think it's even good sometimes to expect things of yourself. Like set a goal, set a certain set of things that you want to do and expect yourself to do them. And if you don't do them, it's not about, being hard on yourself or hurting yourself because of that, but just like talk to yourself. Like I talk to myself more than I'd like to admit, where I'm like, bruh, why are you doing this right now? Why are you like this? You know this doesn't serve you. You know this is not going to lead you to any place that you haven't been before. You've done this. You've expected these things, and they've made you feel they made you feel this way. They have caused you to do these things, and it's like this perpetual loop. Like we have this infinite potential to do everything, and we keep doing the same things over and over again. Why? Why human beings? Uh, hey friends, we have a Wyzek joining us. Smooth melt, a dastardly man. Thank you, brother Isaac. CBD adds to relaxation and a more spiritual attitude. Okay, I don't really have access to that much CBD, unfortunately. At one point, I got CBD seeds. I have like a little story to share with you as well on that. Again, with expectations. Actually, I'm so happy that like it falls into the same fractal. So I was growing these seeds, and my expectation were, because it was literally on the label, Uno CBD. That was what they were called, and I was like, seek CBD weed. Now I'm gonna actually have access to CBD alongside THC. And I was growing these plants, and they were beautiful, and they smelled amazing, and they had beautiful trichomes, and I was like, oh, okay, guess CBD would form trichomes as well. And then I sat and I like was literally on stream trimming these little budsicles, and the resin that was sticking to my scissors. I was like, oh well, it's CBD resin. I don't expect it to do anything to me. I ended up smoking that like a dollop, like a ball of that resin, and then it turns out my expectation my expectation of it being pure CBD was completely off. Like it was 100% THC. Like I don't know if there's a bit of CBD in that weed actually, and I got devastated. But like absolutely devastated. So I do actually want CBD. Same here, Joe. Supposedly have a thunderstorm. Feeling somewhat meh, but definitely feeling better being here with all of you beautiful people. I'm feeling better having you here as a beautiful person. Thank you, Shannon. It is such an uncomfortable balance, both trying to be loving to the self and holding the self accountable and responsible. Are my self expectations too high sometimes? There we go, Jovan. Thank you so much for asking that question of yourself. Again, this is what this stream is about. I'm not telling you this is how you're supposed to do things. This is the only right way. No, of course not. I'm sharing perspective, and then you get to pull from that perspective your infinity. And in this moment, Jovan, being able to bring that question of like, am I expecting too much of myself? Ask yourself that as well, right? You can ask yourself, am I not expecting not enough of myself? And then look where your brain goes and asking that question. And then you can be like, am I expecting too much of myself? And like that makes you feel some things. And I don't know if it makes you feel all that comfortable, like only comfortable at least, but it definitely is something that is appropriate for us to ask ourselves sometimes. Same, I struggle with expecting others to fulfill the commitments they make. I'm a very understanding person, but if we make continuous promises and don't put any time or effort towards that, I would expect someone to be disappointed in me. I feel double good, Like I feel like there's a part of me that's like, oh, like hurting reading your message, and then the part of me that tries to actually fulfill my commitments is the word. Feels very good for it. But then we learn to lower the expectations and not to put any weight to what others say they'll do. And it's a breath of fresh air, holding both of those infinities. Thank you so much, Aunt B, for sharing it with us. Well, 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 good afternoon, Dapper Man and friends. Lisa, so nice having you here with us. Thank you for joining us. How are you feeling? How are you doing, my friend? Freedom is the power of goodbye, as Madonna has said. Add no expectations and you find peace. Sage wisdom here. Thank you for resonating, friend. Again, if you hear me say words, I'm literally just making sounds, dude. You just happen to understand the sounds I'm making. And then upon understanding, you feel. And what you feel is what is of utmost importance. Like I don't expect to use the words in line with this fractal we're exploring today. I don't expect anything of you other than for you to be you, for you to have your experience, for you to make your own decisions, for you to learn from your life and to listen to what you're learning. The truth that you hear in these spaces is within you. 100%. You are the sage wisdom friend. Yo, the haircut is clean. Thank you, friend. It's not been cut, technically. It's just tied back in a little bowl. Thank you, though. This is what I look like with short hair. Does it work? I feel like I'm like channeling the the Groblersdal, like the small town men need to be neat mentality again. What country are you from? Greetings from the Netherlands. Ek is van Suid-Afrika af, my vriend. Dit is baie lekker om jou hier te hê. Ek neem aan jy kan bietjie verstaan waarvan ek praat, aangesien jy van die Nederland af is. It's lekker om jou te sien, Devil. Thank you for joining us. I understand the benefits of no expectations of others, but I don't want anyone not having some sort of expectation of me, if that makes sense. I love to be accountable. I resonate with what you're saying as well, Aunt V. Isn't that odd? Isn't it cool that we get to experience, these type of mindsets, these type of feelings, just about our own humanness? Of like we're exploring a topic of non-expectation, we're exploring a topic of expecting things of ourselves but not expecting things of others. And then because we're exploring this little fractal, you get to notice different little parts of this fractal as well, and you get to share and combine it with the thing that I'm trying to explore in that way of like, sure, we shouldn't expect something of other people, but why is it I want to be accountable? Why is it I want other people to hold me accountable? Why? Maybe it makes it easier? Aunt B, do you think it makes it easier if people have expectations of us? Or it gives us a sense of pride when we fulfill those expectations. Hmm. Instantly my mind is in a whole new fractal. Thank you for that, Aunt B. Like the thing that's coming to my mind right now as well, and I see the thing you're saying with inside of myself as well, and I feel it completely. But the wisdom that's coming to me, if you will, is just recognizing you as a mother. Like on a very real level, as a mother, you're probably one of the beings who has the most expectations on them ever. Right? My goodness. I cannot even imagine what it must be like to be a dad. Never mind what it must be like to be a mom. Never mind the expectations that comes along with being a mom. Thank you, Aunt B, for being such a beautiful mom and fulfilling your expectations. That's true. I guess it's the negative that come from specific expectations, a broad expectation that a meeting with Aunt B will be met with love and positivity is great and true, expecting you to say something specific or react in an exact way. That's what I find expectation to be dangerous. Maybe it's not the expectation, but the preparation that if expectation is not met, then disappointment is inevitable. Man, I'm cold. I'm getting goosebumpers. Isaac. Like we call this friend Isaac Joe Wiser for a reason because of stuff like that. Dude, so in tune. So in tune. Man, I'm freezing. I need to get myself a blanket right now. Like suddenly goosebumps. My hair is like, please stay away, cold air. We cannot handle it. I'll be back in a second. Get myself a blanket. There we go. Ah, sick. That should help my legs at least. Yes. So expecting decency, rather, right? Expecting the bare minimum of love. And yet, it's so not the bare minimum. Goodness, I'm feeling so many things, Brother Bear. Thank you for that, Isaac. Expecting on B to be positive and loving. So I came into the stream of this mindset of like, any expectation of anyone doesn't serve me. And now, with you, friends, sharing your wisdom with me, I'm like, maybe some expectations are okay. Growing, expanding yet more infinitely. So true, friend. All things in balance. My dad loves that Popeye sandwich melt. He claims it's the best fat food sandwich, and he's a great judge. He thinks his belly shows. Thank you, Lisa. Now I need it. Yo, this is why I have trust issues. Sella, you had an expectation, friend. Think about that. Like, that is what happened. That is just what happened. You were like, oh, look at Melt's hair. I expect he got a haircut. And then I was like, nah, I'm really sorry, dude. I'm gonna have to take that away from you. When I first lost all my weight and people noticed and complimented me, I felt like I was then expected to always look that way. And if I slipped up, I would let everyone down, which then led to having a very unhealthy expectation of myself. How interesting. Self-created expectation because we think others expect something of us. What a whole new layer of infinity that is as well. Goodness, this air is so cold. Hmm. Like, can you see the goosebumps on me right now? Yes, you can. Good. Boom! Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Shannon. Like, I'm trying to be in a state of awareness. I'm trying to be in a state of awareness while at the same time expecting myself to say things. And then realizing I'm expecting myself to say things. And then not saying things because I'm expecting myself to say things. And then I'm like, Day 3 of 80 degrees, so warm. Let's go. Dude, I hope you have an amazing day. Keep having good times. Airborne Army guy, he had a THC strain of CBD. Exactly that. Thank you for joining us, dude. We missed you. How are you doing, Brother Bear? We had a warm and cozy day yesterday. Yes, that's the fruit cup. Get that fruit cup some sun. Estia, love the look, Brother Bear. Thank you for joining us. Kira Burb, it's so nice to have you. Makes much sense, sister. Perfectly. Kira Burr, beloved friend, thank you for saying hello. Hilio, thank you for joining us. It's nice to have you here. I love you, morning ma'am. We were outside in the yard yesterday for quite a while. We always get outside each day, but it was nice to just hang out in the yard. Being a baby. You know, I like there was it on, I think, r/smiles made me smile. maybe r slash made me smile. There was this post where a brother is like taking a tissue and he's like putting it in his hand, and then he like distracts the baby's face with like this hand, and then he's like, oh, gone is the tissue, and the little excitement, like the baby like looks around, you know, tries to get some confirmation from the rest of the people if they're also so flabbergasted as he is. Expectations, literally from a baby, like a baby, like, and I'm thinking as well. Come, puppy, come here, go. There you go. You wanna get under the blanket? Oh, there we go. There's your sister. There we go. Like if everybody in that room, when that baby was like looking around for different facial expressions, was just like, that would be not what he expected. And that could cause a sense of tension and turmoil in that baby as well. Really, dude? So the rain is like coming from this direction now and hitting me in the face. I am under the roof, but it is not working. Yeah, Siobhan, too we have to know when we're expecting too much of ourselves, because that will always set us up for failure, in my opinion. It is all divine. It is all divine. Completely right. I have a sting in my heart, but a smile on my face. So grateful for you, friends. A sting in your heart. Are you hurting for some reason, Aunt B? This is the space to share, friend. We don't expect anything of you other than for you to be you. Please do remember that. We're here to love you. Totally grateful for you, dearest sister, as we are for you, Kira Byrne. Thank you for joining us. That is so nice. Same here. We spent all day on the porch just sitting. It's amazing how much more space it feels I have in spring. I find because there's so much more life to connect to, we feel less alone, I think. I completely agree. Like in today's meditation, I was like completely fascinated with the sheer volume of life ceaselessly around me. Like there was like ants, you know, doing their thing on the floor where I was sitting, and there were these like little, technically you can call them onkruid weeds, you know, growing out of the grass, and the grass, of course, and the tree above me, and the different trees, and I was just like almost tripping out about the fact that everything is alive. Like all of these things are living, like they are actually living in this moment. So thank you so much for bringing that here as well, Brother Isaac. I appreciate it. But the difference of expectation versus experience, we could have to approach a friend or loved one in a tense situation or share some tough information. We can expect how someone will react based on experience, and then maybe lessen the blow. Also, make sure to check the Discord for a video of my new little clownfish. She's perfect. Did you post it on r slash or the pets channel? Do let me know, and I would love to check it out, dude. Thank you for sharing. Hmm. Experience. Using experience to expect. And then in doing so, equipping ourselves with enough information to be able to handle the situation with more ease. Hmm. I feel yes, but in moderation, right? Because sometimes, you know, a person might be going through something, they might have happened something, they might be experiencing a certain state of existence, and because of that, they might react in a way that you didn't expect them to. And because you use your experience to expect their reaction, in doing so, you inadvertently create a lopsided expectation of them. And then they hit like the one point that you didn't have covered. And then it's even more devastating. Hey, Guzzler, what's up with you, friend? I hope you're doing well. Frankie, Murray, how are you doing, friend? Do let us know, please. We've missed you. I believe it's pride. There we go. But it's simply my call. What others expect of me most of the time are my responsibilities and things I have chosen to commit to. No matter what others are doing, I know my duties and I'm glad to do them mostly. Mostly. Man, so like I have I spent a little bit of time touching up the Patreon today, changed a few things, changed like some text, added. So I like there's a merch, I guess you can call it, line. You know, if you're a $22 supporter, and then you get like first release is like a mini print, then it's like a sticker, then it's a cup, then it's a t-shirt. And like I set it up kind of haphazardly, like, oh, this is something I can do a while ago. And then today I kind of went with like serious intention, and I created these, like, in my opinion, beautiful little pieces. Like the cup has like either a centerpiece, like was one of the little flowers we've made on the Patreon, or I could have like a wraparound. And then I created like, I used four or three of the four geometry, flowers that I've made in a 4-4-4 pattern, and then it wraps around that cup. And I was like, yeah, I was like, oh yeah, oh, I felt so good for it. And like during this whole situation where I'm updating my Patreon, just really feeling into the love that you friends have shared with me, with the love that I'm trying to share with you. If you friends are curious, if you friends would be willing to support me, I make flowers. Not traditional flowers, but every single day with what it is I'm wearing, I make a flower. And then I get to share that flower with you friends. And for as little as $1, you have access to all of the flowers I've made throughout this year. And I'm going to continue making daily flowers as well. And I was just like thinking about what this is I'm doing. I was like, what the fuck? What exactly is going on here right now? I was like thinking about expectations and thinking about what I've expected of myself, and being able to do what it is we're doing right now. Like, it is so surreal. Like, it doesn't make sense to me sometimes, of like, oh, you're doing what? You're okay, you're taking a photo, and then you're turning it into a flower, and then you share that with people, and then they support you because of that. And I was like thinking about explaining this to like a version of myself that was like living in, the time of Marcus Aurelius 2000 years ago or whatever. And I was like, huh, neat. Hey, brother Dad. Thank you for joining us, man. You look like the 9 to 5 salesman with that hairstyle. This is exactly what I looked like when I was doing sales, dude. Like, to the T, like exactly what I looked like. So you're like 100% on point, Dan. Thank you, man. I look forward to the daily flowers. Thank you, Shannon. And I look forward to sharing them, like more than I can tell you. Like yesterday, I spent some really conscious time making the flower as well, and I was like going through all of these iterations, and I was like, no, this is not the one. And I was like folding the flower, and I was like, no, this is not the one. And I went and created different facets and different little experiences, and then within those different experiences I created ripples inside of those things, and then I was like folding it again, and then I found this flower that, with a defocused view, it has a certain look to it, and then if you focus on it, it has a different look to it. Like I don't know how to explain it. You'll have to go and follow me on Patreon. Anyway, and I was like, yes, this is the one that I want to share. And as soon as I posted, like, and I for the first, like, not for the first time, but like, I have these moments of really resonating with the flower I'm sharing as well, and that was one of them. And as soon as I shared it, Toasty is like, yo, this one is good. And I was like, yes, thank you for being in tune with me, Toast. And just being able to share flowers, like, I genuinely see it as, like nature, like life, the infinite, creating these flowers for us. And if we find ourselves in a space where we can actually look at a flower, we can be in the awe, the beauty, the experience of like, oh wow, look at this flower that nature has created. And now I feel like a part of myself, an expression of the infinity, has taken on that role of like, yes, even me can make flowers. Even me can make flowers. And now I'm doing that. And it's such an amazing process. This year of loss has taught me to manage my expectations, but not quite perfectly. I have no expectations from anything or anyone, but I think that is my distrust for humans and reality. Oh, goodness. Please, Mr. Rain. Please. Please. Thank you. So, Kira Burb, the first thing that I thought about when I hear you say those words is, do you trust yourself? You know, like it's especially difficult to trust others or reality when we don't trust ourselves. And it instantly makes me think of the stream we did about pronoia. You know, to believe that the universe is conspiring to help you, Kira Burb. That everything, all of these losses, all of these experiences, was the universe, in fact, conspiring to help you. Was like, yeah, you know, Kira Burb is this powerful being, but this thing, this situation, this experience is not serving her. This needs to be taken away. And then Kira Burb needs to grow from that. And it keeps doing that. It keeps playing these games on us. What are you seeing? Where are they? Where are they? Go and get them. Hugging you extra. Hugging your heart extra. Hugging yours too. Thank you, Kira Burb. What's up, beautiful man? Hey, Crayon. I'm doing well, friend. How are you? How are you doing? How's life been treating you? How have you been treating you? Sometimes experience can be misleading, though. We must be careful about trusting too much in past experiences. That's true. That's completely true, Kira Burb. And I'm so happy that you mentioned the same thing that I wanted to say as well. Ebony Star! Good morning to you, friend. Thank you for joining us. Very true. Maybe it's not about expecting nothing that should be the focus, but leaning into the realization that whatever the outcome, we must be attentive of our reaction. We can expect something, get the opposite, and still react in an aware way. Isaac, dude, yes. Yeah. Come on, Isaac, come. You sit here, and then I can go and play games or something. Dude, you're so in tune, brother Bay. Like, that is, like, it's raining on me, and Pippi knows. So I'm gonna do this instead. Like, just keep my back dry-ish. Oh, goodness. Instantly, my body is like, yes. Here, dopamine, you did good. Or maybe it's oxytocin, actually. I don't know. No, it's dopamine. Okay. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much for saying that, Isaac. You're completely in tune. You're completely in tune with that. So, like, instead of not expecting anything, to try and expect as little as possible, and even if our least expected state gets disappointed, to react in a way, to react in a way that is still loving, to be able to see this complete opposite of our expectation in a way that is playful still, you know, like, oh, and this too. Yeah, and this too. This is also something that will happen sometimes. This is the comment, Shelly, the comment I was looking for, and I just read through the comments because I am so demanding of myself to point to the point of misery, right? I know you know. I know you know that she knows that I know. Shelly, thank you for knowing, friend. Thank you for sharing your knowing with us as well. 420 Trippy Hippie. Hope you're doing well, brother bear, brother man. Doing even better now that you're here with us. Thank you for joining us, friend. I recognize that I have a habit of giving until I have nothing left, and then I fall into a pattern of experiencing burnout. I recognize I'm also responsible for that. That recognition of awareness is the first step in getting better. Righto? I think so. I think you might be completely in tune with that, Jovan. It's a balance, you know, and it's the only way at this point in my life that it makes sense to me, and maybe it will change, but I doubt it, is to see it as that infinity symbol of like you pushing yourself into this, you know, side of tension, the side of expectation, infinitely, 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 and then at one point you just like break. You know, there's like this complete separation, and then you feel like you don't want to do any of it. You have this sense of burnout, but you were the one putting it forward in the first place. You were the one creating that experience for yourself, and then you create the experience of experiencing what that experience let you experience afterwards. It's like, oh, okay, oh, I had this experience, and now this story. I went and sat down, and now it's raining on me. You know, expectations, trying to expect the rain to not rain on me. How dare I? This is the comment I was looking for. Hello again, Ebony. You want to join me? Come. There you go. This because how we remember It may be changed, by the way. Oh, absolutely. Beloved friends, in electricity and light, I am passing through between work demands. I have been so busy and in the work hall, but my heart is here with you. Shelley, you are here with us, even if you're not here with us, because where we are is within our awareness. So no matter where you are, all we expect of you is to be in that awareness, to try and be as loving of that awareness as you can be. I know you will be the expression of love in your work. Thank you for sharing a moment with us today. Remember, that's an important point to touch on. Negative experiences, negative expectations can be so much more detrimental than positive. It's harder to be positively surprised when, before beginning to read, we've already written the story. Oh, yes. Like, if you expect negatives from a person, you can inadvertently create a negative in that situation, even though there might not have been one. How surreal is that? So true, my dear. I need to work on my reactions for sure. And I know you are, Kira Burr. You're actively working on it. It's like us constantly, ceaselessly evolving. And I'm happy that we're choosing to. Instead of just, oh, life is just this way again. Oh, guess life hates me. Oh, I'll never do. Guess I can't do anything about. No, no. Acknowledging what you are and then living into that truth, expecting of yourself nothing less than that which you are aware. I have no doubts a mind and a heart as beautiful as yours is doing just fine. There we go. I do, friend, and I love you so much. I see you and I'm so proud of you. Absolutely. You did something with your hair. It's in a bun. That it is, Mrs. Davs. Thank you for joining us, friend. I also shaved my beard, so like double whammy. It wasn't enough that I tied my hair back. I had to shave my face as well, just to have like extra. Thank you for joining us. Oh, I love you, Aunt Shelly. Tell Uncle Shelly hello, please do, and children Shelly as well. How are you doing this morning, babe? Hey, DMW is joining us again, saying, as someone who is dying, I have discovered a new perspective of life. I have more peace in my life than I ever had. No fear of death, just fully embracing life. Now, DMW, the first thing that came up into my mind is to say, we're all dying. And then I was like, that's insensitive because DMW might be dying faster than you are. But again, you already understand. No fear of death, just fully embracing life now. Life isn't a time frame. Life isn't a X amount of experiences. Life is the experience. No matter how long you live, even if you live 1,000 years or a single year, there is no difference in the majesty or significance of those two lives. Life is what it's about. Thank you for living into that truth, friend. You look nice with your hair back. Handsome, man bun power. Thank you, Prodigy. I appreciate your love, my friend. It works. It does work, but I'm doing it because my hair is getting dirty. So I'm technically cheating. Mm, I'm doing all right, thanks. I need to get my garden started. It's my primary focus this week. Oh goodness, good luck with that, Ebony. A garden can be a lot of work. Oh, Trippy Hippie. I'm sorry I missed your message, friend. Like it just showed me that it deleted it, but that's the first thing that I saw. Oh, zooming out now to the energy we place on the expectations. I need to recognize and flip the resistance towards things. I need to make myself look forward to the expectations of the self. Hmm, what a cool point that is. What I'm feeling, Jovan, is that myself only expects me to be aware, right? It only expects me to be here. It's like, hey dude, you can't really fail. You just have to show up. That's what I expect of you. Just just show up for yourself. Show up for your family, show up for your creative, pursuit, show up for your career. It doesn't expect anything else. Just your presence. And it's so beautiful that you put it in context of things, because the self is thingless. There's no thing where the self is. Oh goodness, entrepreneur. Thank you, Jovan. Oh, there we go. Right. Good luck with the garden again, Ebony. Sending you so much love. Thank you for being a green thumb individual. I'm hurting deeply, but I can't share, and it's okay. We simply must be grateful for what we have. We're here, loving, caring, and appreciative of you. I saw a flower. So I wanted to share this, but I didn't get to. While I was like on a few phone calls today, and while I was on these phone calls, directly after finishing, like touching up my Patreon, I was just going through all of my flowers that I've made, and I was like skipping through them, and I was like really spending time with them as I was having this conversation with a friend, and I was imagining, I don't know if it's imagining, maybe just I was thinking how these flowers are influencing me. Like in the same way that if I see a flower in the outside world, it influences my DNA and my perception and my experience of self. Even looking at these artificial flowers, it's doing the exact same thing. And now every single time I close my eyes, I'm seeing those flowers, but they're all moving and they're like, and I saw like a seven geometry flower when I close my eyes for you, Aunt P. Sending you love. You can always share with me. She knows. And she will if she could. But she doesn't need to, and we love her nonetheless for that. Sorry to know you're hurting. I hope it passes. It will. Oh, it will. All of it will. This too shall pass. I agree. There are people who create negative situations with people because they innately expect them. Right? Prodigy? I do that sometimes. I do it less. I haven't done it in like a long time, but sometimes I do that where I'm expecting a certain bad exchange, and then fortunately I don't escalate. Right? I've learned that skill at least. I don't escalate if I expect things to be bad. I just kind of look at it. I'm like, oh, okay. And I sometimes just look, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm expecting something bad, and then I see this, not something bad. I'm like, oh, okay, nice. But you're right. Like you can literally go into a situation expecting something bad, and then that person might have, good things to say. They might even say something good, but because you expect whatever they just said to be something bad, in your world, in your head, it is something bad. And then in doing so, you create that negative experience. Sorry for your hurting. My hopes for you is for continued strength. Thank you for sending that, Ebony. Just for spending a moment recognizing our beloved friend. Oh, so cute. Thank you, Gov. She is my little sweetheart. She genuinely is such a cute little thing. I love you. Sending lots of strength and big hugs. Sending it right back to you as well, Eden. Go, go, Gadget Green Thumb. You want to come? Hmm? There you go. There you go. Dimples and man bun. You will have groupies in no time. All I want, friend, is to love. Period. And I don't know the implications of that, but when I think about the word groupies, I don't know if that is, in my world, the expression of love that I want to give. Because it feels fleeting, right? Like I wouldn't be able to be the loving self I could be if it was that way. So I wouldn't want it that way. I wouldn't allow it to be that way even. Coco Craves. Hey, I'm Elfmore. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I am. Thank you so much for joining us, Coco. It's so nice to have you here. I hope you're having an amazing day as well. I hope it continues to be amazing and that you receive everything that it is you're looking for today. Mm, good to see you here. I have got a rush from playing, hit the front page, and has me hyped. Okay, Crayon, I'm happy to hear that, friend. It can be quite an experience to go front page. I'll just say that. Like to me, the opportunity to touch so many lives is what it's about to me, right? Like even if it's a moment, I try to be the expression of love in that moment, to try and share just a little bit of recognition of the fact that we are all loved. And I genuinely believe that if we continue doing the things it is we're doing, if we continue sharing love in the way we are, eventually we're going to change the world into a more loving, more peaceful, more accepting place. You are a part of that process, friend. Thank you for sharing yourself. Too kind. Thank you for the love. A technique I like to use sometimes when receiving a result negative to what I expected is to imagine the exact outcome happening to someone else. Would they be upset with it or see something else in it? I do that with multiple perspectives. That's a good one, Isaac, and one that Ryan shared with me today is if someone else goes through that negative experience, what advice would you give them? And then to give yourself that advice, right? Like I was like, ooh, Ryan, that is really good wisdom. So thank you, Isaac, for being in tune with that as well. Already seeing the local here, the ones who have certain type. Prodigy, only love is true, friend. Friend, I'm not only happy, lucky, and honored, but incredibly grateful to have been blessed with the attention of you and all of the friends that we call family. Same. Isaac, genuinely same. The only thing I expect of myself is to be a better person than the day before. That's a good one to expect. Completely DMW. Thank you for doing that, friend. Thank you for continually choosing to grow. You mean, dear Gavin Jovan, I love you. The end. Dear Kira Burr, we care and appreciate you. Yes, that is the correct way to say it. The end. I have given the greetings to the family, and now I'm back down pit. Do you have like a basement you're working in? Oh, whatever do I mean, friend? Hilarious. This is the only thing that keeps me from diminishing straight to nothing. I know deep down my feelings are valid in certain situations, but I'm still in a place where hearing understanding from others brings tremendous comfort. And you deserve that, Aunt B. You actually deserve that. The fact that we have access to that understanding is kind of surreal to me. And we don't even have to know what is going on for us to understand, for us to send you love, and for us to, give you to be, in a sense, together, regardless of what it is you're going through. And your people I trust, just validation of what I already know. It can be so hard to remember that almost 8 billion people are currently doing what we are all doing, and before them, millions and millions more. We're not alone, and one person's failure is another's success, one person's trauma is another's lesson. Man, Isaac, you're perfectly in tune today, Brother Bay. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your divinity, Brother Bay. Genuinely. It comes from a place of being told I'm wrong for feeling something so many times in my life. Oh goodness. More times than I can actually count, like legitimately on B. Sometimes validation from our loved ones is the only thing that can help. I do wish we could do more. On B, what I've noticed is you should start by giving yourself, gang, validation. Like straight up, go to the mirror, look at your eyes, be like, yes, dude, you have good looking eyes. And you're like, I like your teeth. I like the way your ears protrude from the sides of your head. I like your eyebrow flexion. I like the way your lips look. I like, you know, and you, and I know it sounds like, oh goodness, Mel, that's a bit of a yikes. It is 100% a bit of a yikes. But allowing yourself a moment of you giving yourself validation, at least in my opinion, causes myself to expect others to validate me significantly less. Because the only person that I need to be validated by has already validated me. You. As in me. As in I. As in awareness. As in the perspective that we're all sharing. Give yourself that validation first. That's what we can start doing to do more, at least in my opinion, Kira Burb. I am always holding space for you, beautiful beings. Nothing wrong with wanting to feel validated because we are valid. Your experience is valid and your feelings are valid. Look yourself in the mirror and be like, you deserve, no, I don't know if deserve is the right word. You are worthy of feeling sad as well. You are worthy of being happy. You are worthy of being angry. You are worthy of feeling like the world's unfair, and you are worthy of feeling the world is fair. Just to give yourself that freedom. It's not about feeling better, it's about getting better at feeling, right? You are my solid rock friend. My goodness, I'm so grateful for your honest and thoughtful insight. It has brought me more peace than I can say. Thank you. Thank you, 1B, for being willing to invite that peace into yourself. Thank you for the heartwarming, Lisa. I appreciate it. I don't know why I feel so terrible about that. I'm working on it, and I appreciate you saying that way more than I could ever say. Love is true. I needed to hear that so badly today. My aunt used to call me her rock, and today is the first anniversary of the last day I saw her alive. It's nice to be someone's rock again. Kira Burb, like you lit. Goodness, entrepreneur. You can't make this stuff up. How do you make something like that up? How do you make up that feeling you're having right now? And you didn't expect Aunt B to say those things, and her saying those things, caused, oh goodness. And then, like, the synchronicity of the last, oh, Kira Berg, we love you so much. Bethany, thank you for joining us on the YouTubes as well. So nice to have you here. Like, I'm not tripping out. Bethany Keeling, it is on B, right? I'm just making extra sure because, like, I can't see the profile right now. It might not be. You might just be Bethany Keeling. Thank you for joining us, friend. We love and appreciate you. Thank you for joining us here today. How are you doing? How have you been treating yourself? We are all on a journey through hardship and expectation differently. Hello there, Lane! Lane! Lane, it's nice to see you, brother bear. I've thought about you a lot as of late, man. Actually, I think we talked about you yesterday when we were talking about age groups and being friends. Like I, for the longest time, kept seeking friends that were older than me, and because they were older than me, they've experienced more, and then as a result, I could have conversations with them. And I was like, do I have any young friends? And then I was like, Lane is one of my young friends. So thank you, my young friend, for joining us today. It's nice to have you here with us today. How are you doing? How's school treating you? Love you so much. It made me giggle. Love is true. Oh my heart. Snuggle up, fruit cup for me extra today. Please do. Ah, enjoy those little moments. I steal these moments with these teenagers. It is like few and far between. I love you and I share your family. I love you. Share your family with us. It helps me remember my children and when they were small. Little babies. Actual babies. And I got to watch this little baby grow up. Little Pippi Longstockings. And she has become a whole, in my world, person. Like she's a person to me. Like she has a way of doing things. She has mannerisms. Is mannerisms the right word? Mannerisms is how you say things, right? Technically, she makes sounds in a certain way that I haven't heard other dogs make sounds. She really has a way of like bringing stuff that she chews to the front of my door and just laying there and chewing on stuff, and then I step on sharp bones when I come out of my room, and I'm like, expectation, 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 and then I'm like, pick up the thing, throw it away so I don't step on it again. She's such a character, genuinely, and being able to watch her grow up and watch her become her own dog, become her own little person, have her own experience, do things in her way. It was very surreal, very visceral to watch this again, and I can't even imagine how surreal it must be with an actual human being. Goodness. A few weeks ago, Shelley was streaming a rainbow, and a little while earlier, I asked my aunt for a rainbow. It was one of those mind blown moments, like actually melting our minds. Kira Burp, we are that which we don't want to admit we are. We really are. You are that, Kira Burb. And I know you don't want to admit, sometimes, eh? But we have to. We have to admit. It's the only way. I know what you are, Kira Burp. Lane is a mature 18-year-old, to be honest. How's the play going, Lane? Do let us know. School's been alright. Just finished up my college finals, and high school graduation is coming up in a couple of weeks. You must be excited, Brother Bear. You have plans? Like, what comes next? What comes next? Like, I'm guessing college? Like, do you know where you're going? Is it gonna be far? Do you have to move away from home? How does your family feel about that? Like, there's so many fractals that are being expressed. Thank you for just joining us, for being with us in this moment with the bear. You look much better without the beard. Thank you, YS. Yeah, I know. And I know that. Like, Christian, my best friend, he is growing his beard out now, and he's growing his hair as well. His hair is longer than mine. Asshole. How dare he? He's been growing his hair for, like, I think, actually less than a year. It's been like less than a year. His hair is longer than mine, and he has a like this voluptuous beard. And he's like, "Yeah, grow your beard, Melt. We'll be yogis by the end of the year." And I'm like, "Oh, of course you're gonna like poke more fun at me, you beautiful beard growing, wonderful hair manifesting individual." I can't. I would like to grow a proper beard, but I don't think it's in my cards. Fortunately, I can't shave. So I do sometimes. It's just such a like a schlep for me to shave, really. Like getting hair everywhere and cleaning my area afterwards, and it's just the whole fractal attached to having to shave my face is not one I particularly enjoy. Well, the next year is very unknown and strange. I might be going to a school for bass performance, but I'm still figuring out if school is the next step. Brother Lane, whatever you're gonna do, you're gonna continue having an experience. You're gonna continue being present, you're gonna continue being in this moment of awareness. And the world we live in right now is not the same world our parents grew up in, not even remotely the same world our parents grew up in. And we can't have the same expectations of human beings of our youth that we had for our previous youths, right? It's just not going to be sustainable. Things need to change. So no matter what you do, you are going to be the expression of that change, Lane. Be the change you want to see, and so forth, right? So you're going to be fine, dude. I know it. You're a genius, an actual genius, dude. All you have to do is keep showing up, and eventually you're gonna get where you're going. Hey, I'm 20 Delano, Grandmaster of Chill. Thank you for joining us, Brother Bear. It's nice to have you here. Welcome back. It's so nice to have you. You know me well, brother. I love you, Kira. I love you, and I'm trying to be as aware as I possibly can. Thank you for joining us and for leaning into this awareness with us. Off to take my poor pupper to the vet. So much love to all of you beautiful humans. I'm sure it will be exactly what she needs. Thank you, Eden. Have an amazing day. And just as Eden clips out, we have Ninja Nanner clipping in. Keep the Ninja Nanner energy, or the Ninja family energy alive. Thank you, Brother Bear, for representing and for being the expression of love with us. So nice having you here. We've missed you, Ninja Nanner. How are you doing, Brother Bear? Everything reveals itself, and it's really hard sometimes, but we can choose to be at peace with that. We can choose to be at peace, but sometimes we like the chaos as well, you know? That's also something we have to recognize. Good luck to the pupper. Love to you. Thank you so much. Kira Burb. Love to you, friend. Sending comfort to the pupper. You're an incredible friend that you are, friends. Love and goat farts. Like, is it goat farts on B? I'm still confused about the whole goat farting thing. Was it like is it an inside joke? Was there a goat farting on a live stream at one point? Like I've asked multiple times, but nobody fills me in on the details. Oh, these expectations I have, I'm getting non-expectations. Oh, dang, that is awesome. I'm doing well. Just waking up still. Thank you, Brother Bear, for being awake. I know you are, Corey. Like I'm just like as I'm saying your name, I'm seeing you with your long hair. I'm seeing your wise eyes and just your beautiful smile, Brother Bay. Like that genuine knowing smile of like, oh yeah, yeah, huh? Thank you for joining us, friends. Mm. Ermius Plur. What have we learned? It's okay to expect things of yourself. Try and manage your expectations of others. Try and expect of yourself love and expect of others that same love. But don't be reactive when you don't receive that love. Be loving when you don't receive that love. Is that the consolidation of the fractal that was today's stream? I do hope so. Oof, guy cutting grass ended up sending an army of dust particles in my room. Thank you, universe, for this opportunity for to sneeze until I shit my pants. Expectations. Yes, I expect to not have to breathe dust. The universe is like, oh yeah? How about you breathe some dust, bitch? Thank you, Isaac, for being the expression of love, even in the breathing of the dust. I appreciate it so much. Our song was the Rainbow Connection. I don't know that song, but it sounds like a vibe. Friends, thank you for joining me. Figuring out the next step. Reddit is not being my friend right now, but I'll send all the love in my heart to all of the beautiful friends over there. Shannon is sending you love. The same love that I'm sending, the same love that Kira Burb is sending, that Brother Isaac is sending, the same love that all of us have in our hearts is being sent to you. From heart to heart in this moment. I appreciate you, friends, more than I can ever say. I opened the window expecting a lovely, lovely spring breeze. Universe, send a fastball into my Adam's apple. Peppy is like, what the fuck are you? Are you alright? I'm alright. Thank you, Peppy. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, friends. I love you, Limpiv. I love you, friend. I see you. Looks even harder at you. Thank you for joining us, for sharing this moment, for not expecting anything of me, for realizing that I don't expect anything of you, and for showing up nonetheless. It means more than I can say. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. May we keep experiencing and living in this moment. We will. Please continue this moment into infinity and share this moment with your loved ones, with your animals, with plants, with people that you work for, people that you work with. Be in this moment, and this moment will serve you. I love and appreciate you, you beautiful infinite beings. I'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone. Love you all, friends. Love you, Melt. Love you, Shannon. Thank you. I saw a diamond shape that had like these concentric colors like out of it, and then it was like attached to like some sort of thing that was like hanging it up. Sending you love, Shannon. Thank you, friend. See you again tomorrow. Bye.